Welcome to another episode of the Post Game. I am your host, Davion, and I am joined today by my friend Nathan.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing?
And today we're going to be talking about some college football, man. It's the playoffs are going to start here in about a little bit under a month, right, Nathan?
Yeah, New Year's.
Yeah. But firstly, how are you doing, man?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Ready to talk about some football. It's been a little while since we talked about college football on the podcast. So I think we felt the time would be right now to come back, and we're gonna see it out, man. So firstly, we're gonna start by talking about Lincoln Riley, man. His move to USC from Oklahoma. Is it a good move for him?
Oh yeah, it's a great move for him. He's got getting like a lot of money. He's got like a bunch of deals under the table. I think they bought him a house there in LA and a bunch
So
of other stuff.
I have it right here. I'll just read it to you. So
Yeah,
like,
read it.
it's 10 years, $110 million. They
Good.
bought his house in Texas. They bought him a $6 million house in California. They also gave him a private jet. So I mean, they pretty much gave him a blank check and told him to write what you want on it.
Yeah, they gave him an offer he couldn't refuse.
Oh, of course not. And he shouldn't have refused it. So that's why he is currently not at Oklahoma anymore.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense for him because Oklahoma was joining the SEC here in a couple of years, and
He was afraid.
he don't recruit defense. His defense doesn't work, or his coordinator's defense don't work. And like SEC, you need a good defense to compete in that conference.
Yeah, you do.
So he just wouldn't have worked out in the SEC conference with Oklahoma. So it was a pretty good move for him to go to the Pac-12.
Oh yeah, he's gonna kill it there.
Yeah, he will.
I mean, USC hasn't been a great team for at least 5-6 years at least.
Yeah, maybe a year.
Oh, I'm sure it's been a while. Do we think like he instantly transforms the team around?
I mean, I'm sure they'll be pretty good next year. Maybe not like top 10 rank. Maybe that might be lucky to be a ranked team.
I don't think like they get ranked anyway. Well, no, let me rephrase that. That's wrong of me saying. I think if he like had like 2 losses, I think they'll still rank him like maybe like 12th, maybe. I mean,
maybe
a two loss team.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley's like he's a phenomenal recruiter. He's one of the best recruiters.
Oh, for sure.
In college football. So he's going to bring top talent, and California has one of the best like high school football prospects in the entire country. So
yeah,
a lot of those California kids recently been going out of California like to like the South. So now that Lincoln Riley's in California, I'm sure a lot of those California kids want to stay in California to play with Lincoln Riley at USC.
Oh, exactly. Oh, for sure. And you saw like whenever the news came out, he literally two 5-star recruits switched from committing to Oklahoma to USC for one, and then 8 of their players 3 entered the transfer pool as of now, as of the time of recording this. 8 of them decommitted from OU. OU lost their defense coordinator, wide receiver coach, their strength coach, and the director of operations. So I think the entire team has just been wiped away. How big of a threat is this to Oklahoma football?
I mean, I guess it kind of hurts a little bit, but they came back and they got their guy that they wanted. So I mean, they obviously lost a lot of recruits, but they can either try to contact them again, make them come back, or they can go after some more recruits. It's probably going to hurt them this first season, maybe 2 seasons, but I'm sure Oklahoma will be fine.
Oh, for sure. I mean, like you said, to be in the SEC, you need a really good defensive-minded coach, right? And they went in and brought in Brent Variable, and and so they went and brought a defensive coach in from he was the defensive coordinator for Clemson, and I think to me that's a really big move because if you're going to play in the SEC in a couple years, you're gonna start recruiting now for defense. You can go bring in a nice offensive coordinator, or keep their offensive coordinator that they have. Well, that was
I don't know. I think
was
their offensive coordinator went to USC with Lincoln.
yeah. And so I mean, you're gonna fully revamp that entire team. I think the defense will be good because let's be real. Clemson over the past 5 seasons, they've had one of the top defenses in college football. Besides this year, they were a little decline this season. But I do think it's going to be a good fit for him. Do like you said, they have a couple seasons where they're gonna not be as great, but college football isn't something that happens overnight and something that happens over 1 year. That's why you see a lot of head coaches signing big 10-year deals because it takes time to get good, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. But next up, we got Brian Kelly left Notre Dame, man, and moved to LSU, taking over Coach O's job.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I've never really pictured Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame, especially going to LSU. But
especially the way he did it as well.
Yeah, he kind of did it. He kind of did it in a kind of wrong way. He kind of let the media inform his players that he was leaving.
Yeah,
and then he had that meeting with his players and it lasted 5 minutes.
At 5 and at 6 in the morning, it didn't even last that long. It lasted 2 minutes and it was gone. And I think that's not a good way to leave a situation or any team. And plus, you still you're in a bowl game. The season's not even over to me.
Yeah, he kind of did him dirty. I mean,
yeah. Why do you think he left so abruptly?
He's another guy that got an offer he couldn't refuse. I mean,
yeah,
he's getting a chance to coach down in the SEC now. LSU's a top premier program. Chance to win a championship almost every year at least. You're gonna get a bunch of good recruits over there. I mean, I'm not gonna say I love the hire, but I mean, I don't know if he's gonna fit there. But we're just gonna have to wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, he's transformed. Well, he's attempted to transform programs around. I mean, Notre Dame hasn't. They haven't always been great, but they've also always, almost every season he's been there have been a top 10 program. But
I mean, he's led Notre Dame to the playoffs a few times. Every time
he gets to the playoffs, for sure.
Like Alabama or Oklahoma, and he gets absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see if he can bring what he done, what he did at Notre Dame, getting them to the playoffs. I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he can bring that to LSU for one, but also when he gets to the playoffs, instead of getting blown out by Alabama, he can actually put up a fight.
Well, yeah, he's going to have a hard task. SEC versus playing Notre Dame is an independent. You're independent. You don't have a conference, so
Oh yeah,
you can have a state schedule every year or play at least a couple ranked teams.
Yeah.
Notre Dame and LSU is a completely different ball game.
Oh yeah. I mean, if he expects this to be a walk in the park, I think he's very naive and he's very blinded by what this job is going to be. I do think it takes him a couple seasons to get the ball rolling at LSU, though. I don't think this is an overnight program switch for him.
I agree with you.
Go ahead.
He's going to have to recruit some talent. He's going to need a quarterback. That quarterback they currently got is not no good.
Not at all. So hopefully we'll see some change with Brian Kelly going in. But just leaves a little sour taste in my mouth, man. The way you treat those players who's worked their butt off for you all season. It wasn't
a good for in this part.
Yeah, but moving on from that, Marcus Freeman, the defensive coordinator for Notre Dame, has been replaced as a head coach for Notre Dame. I think it is good keeping it in-house. Their defense has been a big leading cause of their success for this season. And so I think that's just a no-brainer for them. And it's just an easy job to do and make right now. I mean, the easy decision to make right now, being at the end of the season and you need somebody to go out and win you this bowl game.
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a surprising hire for me. I know you keep it in-house, people like that, but this is his first season with the program, as a defensive coordinator. prior, he was like the defensive coordinator with Cincinnati, and then before that, he was somewhere else. So this is his first year going on in the program. He's already named the head coach there. So I mean, kind of surprising. I figured they'd go after like a bigger name, than Marcus Freeman, but it seems like they liked him enough to be the head coach, and it seemed like the players love him. So
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
I've seen nothing but positivity around his name. I mean, so that's a start, I guess. I mean, he must know how to do something good, if that makes sense.
Can't really talk too much about this guy. I don't really know anything about him, really. So
yeah, me either. Louisiana head coach Billy Napier to Florida. That's a big move for him.
Yeah, I mean he was under the Nick Saban coaching tree at one point in his career.
Who hasn't been under Nick Saban's coaching tree at one point?
All right, it was like a receivers coach or something, and he went on. Now he transformed this Louisiana team, and they're pretty damn good this year. So I mean, they won the conference. What their conference? Whatever they is it? Sun Belt.
Yeah.
Watching.
I mean, good. I mean, that's good for him. I do think I do like the idea that you get an established head coach that you can obviously see change a program around and do their job, and him and what he's done to this Louisiana team, and so I mean that's a plus, man. That's a big plus for me. But I don't know much about him. But I mean, like you said, he's underneath the Saban wing. So I mean, we've seen a lot of.
I think Louisiana was his first head coaching job.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we see a lot of the Saban people move on and be really good at what they do, and so I mean, kudos to him. But no, Louisiana as a head coach, he started off his first season 7-7. 2019 was 7-3, which is big jump. 2020 10-1, 2021 12-1. So I mean that's big for them.
Yeah, it is. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, you got a lot more assets and a lot more potential to get more in Florida as well. So because I mean Florida, they haven't been the best, but they still do have that that big name of a big name school as in Florida. So I'm sure some people are going to want to play with him, knowing that he was under Nick Saban at one point, and knowing that he can kind of do his job.
Yeah, I believe he'll be a really good recruiter, especially on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna let you pronounce his name, but Miami hires Oregon's head coach Mario. What's his last name? Cristobal.
Another Nick Saban product.
It seems like he has them all under his wing, but this guy, I've had a lot of question marks about this move because Miami hasn't been good for 6 seasons, at least. I mean, do you think? I mean, when have they been in the top 10? When's the last time they've been in the top 10?
Like last year, but they was way overrated last year. They didn't really deserve that ranking.
That's
I think hell, they was probably like 6 maybe, and they got spanked by North Carolina like the week after. That's how I know. That's the reason I know.
Well, I'm talking about like ending wise, like what did they?
Oh, like ending the season.
Yeah.
I think they made it to the ACC championship game one year. It was like 2018 or something.
Everyone can make it to the – I mean, ACC is not the best.
Yeah, but the ACC was terrible that year, of course, and
I mean, that doesn't help their argument.
They might have been a top 10 team, but they got demolished by Clemson that game. Miami's always overrated.
Yeah, they're overrated because of their history and because of their past, because of what they have been. I mean, what they used to be. But I mean, Oregon, like right now, Oregon's a bigger franchise or program than Miami is. Oregon. Go ahead.
Mario Cristobal's Miami alumni, I believe.
Really?
That's why.
Is that why? I mean, I get that, But at the same time, I mean, if it's me, I'm not running to this Miami job. I mean, they haven't been good consistently for a while. So it's like, I mean, do I really want to leave Oregon where there's like, that where we've been good for a little, like, well, we've been like, being ranked for the entire time I was there? Or do I want to go to Miami and not like, and just not and deal with, the unknown to say?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite interesting. His time at Oregon was kind of questionable. I don't know, maybe this year he kind of got exposed this year in the conference championship game. He got beat by Utah twice. Maybe that losing that second time, Utah was like, I'm going to get the freaking crap out of here and head to Miami.
I'm going to sit in the sun all day in Miami instead of being up in Oregon.
Yeah, I mean, would you rather live in Eugene, Oregon or Miami, Florida?
Exactly. I mean, I'm sure that was a big factor as well. I mean, I'm sure his wife was like, that Miami job doesn't look too bad right now. Let's just go down to Miami.
Honestly.
And
happy wife, right?
I wouldn't know. You would though, But some notable transfer pool, like portal entrances. Redshirt freshman quarterback Quinn Ewers. He was his name was like what?
You can't pronounce names, man.
I can't at all. No. And I can't spell. So the more you know. But no, wasn't he like the top ranked quarterback in the class?
Yeah, he was supposed to be like a senior in high school this year, and he reclassified like to take advantage of all that NIL money, and he made like a killing off of.
He made $1 million. I saw he made $1 million off a contract with like a name, like a signing name bonus or whatever for like 4 years, and then he also got like a truck from somebody, of course, because all of those guys get trucks. But no, he made a lot of money. Where is he gonna go?
I don't know. I mean,
he's from Texas. He is from Texas.
He's from Texas, and before he committed to Ohio State, he was formerly committed to the University of Texas, and then he decommitted to go to Ohio State. Ooh. So I figured he entered the transfer portal this year because he figured he was going to be sitting behind what's his name? Damn, I can't remember his name right now. That's sad. For quite a while. CJ Stroud.
Yeah. I mean, and that's exactly what it was. And I mean, does he go somewhere next season and start, or does he sit again?
I don't know. I mean,
depends where he goes.
It depends on where he goes. I don't know really. I feel like he's going to go to one of these Texas schools at least.
I know a school that's looking for a quarterback. I know Oklahoma just lost 2 of their. Well, that's not even in Texas. Well, Oklahoma did just lose 2 of their starting quarterbacks because they both entered the transfer portal as well.
No, Rattler did. I don't think Caleb did.
He did, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think you're wrong. I think he didn't. He didn't. He didn't believe me.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that.
Spencer Rattler.
I did see Spencer, yeah.
He was going to transfer regardless because he lost his starting job to Caleb this year. So.
Yeah.
Maybe Quinn Ewers does go to Oklahoma and sit behind Caleb for a year. But, if he transferred this year, he might be looking to transfer somewhere he's going to start this upcoming next season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he seems like the type of guy who wants to play now. And so I think he is. I think he will probably stay now or go somewhere where he can start anyway.
Yeah. He kind of gives me like Johnny Manziel vibes,
Yes.
Like wise.
Yeah. I mean, he's that height.
Like Baker Mayfield.
It sucks putting that name on people, doesn't it?
Oh, he seems like a cocky type of guy. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're from Texas. You got a mullet. That's life.
Yeah, I need a mullet, bro.
Oh, please no. Please no. But we're going to talk about this last quick topic before we get into the games for this, the bowl games and the college football championship, playoffs. Joe Brady, former Panthers offensive coordinator, He just got fired. Do we think he's going back to college?
Yeah, I believe so. I think he fits way much better in college, and these college teams are going to look at his resume. He's like, oh, he's got that NFL experience now. So like, oh man, we're going to love to have him here.
Yeah.
Got the big names, national champion at LSU. He's like a quarterback guru, as some would say. Although his time in the NFL wouldn't say so.
Not at all. I mean, head coach or offensive coordinator?
Oh, absolutely not a head coach. If he's the head coach, it'd be some small, like FCS school or Group of 5 school that was like desperate. But I don't think he'd want to go to some small school. I figured he'd want to go to some big name school and be a coordinator.
Yeah.
But nobody's going to hire him to be a head coach unless they're desperate. Some small school.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
I don't think they have a coordinator yet.
Oh no, Oklahoma does not. I mean, that's not a bad fit for him though as well.
No.
I mean, if he went to Oklahoma,
passing offense,
with a new head coach, with a new head coach that is defensive minded, I think that would be a perfect fit for him with Oklahoma.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that. Him going to Oklahoma.
I wouldn't either. But it's funny that firing came really abruptly. I think we all knew it was going to come, but I just didn't expect it to come like mid-season, for being real.
Yeah, man, he got fired on his day off.
It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. But yeah, man, we got 4 bowl games.
We got the New Year's 6 bowl games we want to talk about, that and the 2 playoff games. They're technically New Year's bowl games.
Oh, yeah. 6. Oh. Are those games already played? They all played on New Year's?
Yeah, that's why they called the New Year's 6.
They're all played on New Year's. That's a full day of football. First game we're going to talk about.
It's like 2 whole weeks of football.
Yeah. First game we're talking about is the Peach Bowl. Michigan State ranked number 10. And then Pittsburgh, number 12. Who you got, Nathan?
I got Michigan State.
Yeah.
Two good offenses, but Pittsburgh, their defense is
not good enough to hold up with this offense.
Not going to say it's really any good. ACC wise, it's okay, but they're playing in Michigan State. They got one of the best. They got the best running back in the nation in Kenneth Walker. So it might be. It's probably gonna be. It could be a high scoring game, But I'd say Michigan State's gonna win the game.
Also, yeah, I agree. Correction though, this game is actually played on December 30th. So
I guess it's still technically a New Year's 6 bowl game.
Yeah. Anyway, I do think Michigan State will win this game. Their new head coach, well, not new head coach, their head coach just signed a $10 million, 10-year, $96 million contract or something like that. Could be wrong.
Yeah, big time.
But he got the bag. He got the bag for sure.
That's another Nick Saban guy, man. Mel Tucker.
I need to go work under Nick Saban. All these dudes making
Nick
money.
Saban, I'll be an unpaid intern, man.
Yeah, right. Just give me the name. Just give me that on my resume. But yeah, no. I do think Michigan State will win this game. I don't really know much about Pittsburgh, but
they got a good quarterback, Kenny Pickett.
Yeah,
he's going first round.
Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, I think he goes to the Steelers.
Ooh. Did you hear? Well, on some NFL news, like Big Ben Roethlisberger said that he is leaving the Pittsburgh Steelers after the season. So that would be. That would be.
Like 6 ago.
You should have. How many years?
Like 6 years.
Oh, that was not that much. I would say maybe like 2 years ago.
I don't know. He's been bad.
Oh no, he has been terrible. Other garbage, if we're being real. I mean, this Kenny Pickett kid, his stats, they're not terrible, man. 4,300 yards, 42 tubs, 7 picks, 81.5 QPR. It's not bad.
No, it's not.
I mean, has his stats always been like this for the past couple seasons?
Well, no, I think he got hurt one year. He missed most of the season. Last year, it wasn't as good as last year, but he was still a pretty solid year. Yeah. But he's like my top 3 quarterback in in the draft this coming season. This
I mean,
coming draft.
there's not much.
No, it's a weak draft class in terms of quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man, we're gonna hop on out of that one. But we both got Michigan State winning. The next game, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State just had an absolute squander against who do they play?
Baylor.
Baylor, yes. Like there's no way you should be getting blown out 21-3 at halftime. But I mean they did bounce back a little bit and almost win it, but
by 1 yard.
Yeah, exactly. And so maybe next time. But who do you have? I got Notre Dame.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one to choose. You know, Marcus Freeman's going to be his first game as a head coach. It's a New Year's Six bowl game against a good Oklahoma State team. You know, they got a really good offense as well.
Yeah, but I think they put up though.
Oh man, I don't really want to choose this. This is tough to choose, but I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State.
I got Notre Dame, man. I feel like they have a lot to prove to Kelly, and so they're like, yeah, we're gonna go out here. We're gonna put some points up on this board, and we're gonna stop this Oklahoma State offense, which I think they can.
Yeah, I think this game comes down to the coaching. We got an established coach at Oklahoma State, Mike Gundy, against
brand
new coach coaching his first game in a bowl game, Marcus Freeman. Never been a head coach, at least in the college level. So I'd say Oklahoma will edge them out in the coaching game. So no get the win, Oklahoma State.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't think so. I got Notre Dame. But yeah, the Rose Bowl this season, Utah, Ohio State. Oh man, Ohio State's they always just end up at 5 or 6 coming this time of the year, man. And it sucks because you really want them to do good. You want them in the playoffs.
I hate Ohio State. I want them to do bad.
Why?
Why do I hate Ohio State?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of funny. My social studies teacher in 8th grade, she was she was an Ohio State fan.
And she ruined it.
I was like, I hate Ohio State from now on now. And I think they won the championship that year. I was like in 8th grade, and I was like, man.
Oh, and she just dragged it for the rest of the school year, I bet.
Yeah, I was like, man, shut up.
But who do you have here?
Utah. I'm not picking Utah. I'm going to talk about Utah.
Yeah.
Utah, surprisingly good season. They knocked off Oregon twice this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who else they've beaten, really, because I don't really follow the Pac-12. But, they had a damn good year. But I'm going to choose Ohio State beating Utah in the Rose Bowl.
I do agree wholeheartedly. I do think Ohio State will win this game just because they have to win this game for their fan base, for their state. But, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. And then last one of the main bowl games, the Sugar Bowl. Baylor number 7, Ole Miss number 8.
I think this is the most exciting game. Well, I think I'm the most excited for this bowl game. I'll wait. This one. Baylor and Ole Miss. One's like a Dave Aranda, Baylor coach, came from LSU, was a DC at LSU that championship year. He's established a good defense. Versus Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin, former Nick Saban guy, was an OC there. Great offense at Ole Miss, so it's going to be.
Yeah, they do have a really good offense at Ole Miss right now. Their quarterback's coming out, isn't he?
Yeah, he's already declared for the draft. Well,
yeah.
I think he'll play this game. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, for sure. I don't.
He's not playing.
I don't think he missed this game at all.
Yeah, he's my top quarterback going into the draft.
Matt Corral, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, it's nice stats from the kid.
It's gonna be a fun game.
It will be. I think I'll go. I mean, Ole Miss's offense have, like you said, have been really good this season. I mean, they're averaging like 30 points a game, which is really dang good. Can this Baylor defense step up and shut this team down? I think that'll be the determining factor of this game. But yeah, I'll go with Ole Miss. I'm gonna go Ole Miss.
Yeah, this is another game that's kind of hard for me to choose, but I'll probably go for Ole Miss too. I know defense wins championships, but
that offense is.
the offense is hard.
I mean, defense win championships, but like you look at Georgia, Alabama in the SEC championship game. I think we know we won that game.
Yeah, that top defense in the league got exposed.
Yo, like because we can't talk about this because this is a college football podcast, but in that SEC championship game, you saw an Alabama offense that torched anything in the making of that Georgia defense. I mean, if Alabama, if you're the other team and the other team's quarterback is throwing the ball 50 yards in the air for a touchdown, it's game over. Because you can't stop. I mean, and they couldn't stop it at all. And so you just saw this absolute mess rain down on them pretty fast in that game.
Yeah, I think most people found out you don't put Alabama as an underdog ever.
No.
Nick Saban's never lost to Kirby Smart. He's beat him every time he's played Kirby Smart as a head coach. So,
I mean, as we move into talking about the two playoff games, Bama and Cincinnati is going to be the first game, and then Michigan and Georgia is the second game. Do you agree with the rankings?
Yeah, I kind of guess so. I kind of thought Michigan would be the 1 seed, and
me too.
Alabama would be the 2 seed. But I guess they was like Alabama knocked off the 1 seed, so we got we gotta let them jump to the 1 seed. But
I mean, but it's still, to me, that's just not fair, man. You barely lose. I mean, you lose to A&M. You almost lose to Auburn. Like I think at that point you have to take into consideration some what's the word? You have to be smart about it. You can't make it obviously look like Alabama's the best team in the country. Like I do think Michigan should have been 1, and Bama should have been 2.
Yeah, I guess I could agree, but the media.
I mean,
Alabama.
Yeah, that, and because you do know that Alabama. I mean, the media and like people who watch college football, they want to see Bama Georgia in the championship game. I mean, that's what it is.
I mean, yeah, of course, that's what the media wants. This is what make the most money, So.
I mean, shout out my cousin though, Jordan Battle. Pick 6 in the championship game, the SEC championship game, man. So good for him.
Cousin?
That is my cousin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a good time, man. It's my boy. I've never met him a day in my life, but
Wow.
No, he is my cousin though. But first game, Cotton Bowl, Alabama, Cincinnati. What we got?
Do I even have to say?
I don't think so.
I feel bad for Cincinnati.
I do too, because they had a really good season, man. Like I want them to win. I do.
Everybody does, other than Alabama. I mean, and maybe Georgia fans.
No, I think only people who want is Alabama. I mean, that's the only people who want to win. Don't want them to win this game.
Either way, props to Cincinnati. They had a great year.
Yeah, for sure.
They could win. You never know. But
Nick Saban's just a different breed.
Quarterback had a phenomenal year too. Another good quarterback coming out in this draft. Maybe probably won't be a first round pick, but
Yeah, I do think a lot of quarterbacks in this class will come out a little bit later. So
yeah, but props to Cincinnati. But I think they're going to come up just a little short.
Yeah,
probably by about 50 points.
That bad?
Oh man, they're going to get beat by at least 2 touchdowns.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they did just put 41 on the best defense in college football, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
You don't see a number 1 defense in college football who hasn't given away more than, I think in total it was like more than 30 points, less than that actually. But you don't see that a defense like that get blown out.
Oh yeah, I think
Blown out.
Georgia going into that game, they had like I don't think they give it. I think they gave up like 7 touchdowns
Yeah, if
that game.
that.
Yeah,
That's
that's
ridiculous
crazy.
to think of. And then and then this happens. And so I mean, is just Georgia team a fluke? Is that what it is?
I mean, maybe they
I was
didn't have the strongest schedule this year, so
I was talking to a friend of mine who's a Georgia fan, and he was saying that Georgia's quarterback, the one who started, he doesn't have a big arm that he can't get the ball down the field like their other guy can, their backup can, because the backup was
Stetson.
what?
Go on. Say what you
Because
want
the
to say.
backup was actually the starter, but he had a core muscle injury, and so it
Yeah,
took him out. I mean, but your starting quarterback is the replacement is playing so well that you don't pull him, and I understand and I get that you don't pull him, but at the same time you're getting blown out. So I do think they look at this, they look at it, and they're like, all right, if you can get the ball down the field 50 yards like this other kid can, then go right for it.
yeah, they're going to have to. Stetson was is like a walk on guy. He walked on to Georgia, and but JT was like a 5-star recruit.
Yeah,
He's hurt though, and Stetson comes in, steps up, and he kind of gets carried by that defense, I believe. Though I mean,
for sure.
so we're probably going to want Georgia's probably going to want is JT even is he healthy?
He is healthy. Yes, he's just been on the bench.
Yes. I mean, they're probably going to they're going to have to get him like in the groove, like get him like first team reps. These
Yeah.
next
Oh, for
couple.
sure. I mean, they got a little bit less than a month to get him in order. I think they will. It'll be good to watch. It'll be good to see what they bring out. Man, these games are going to be good. These are going to be some good games.
Yeah.
Especially that Michigan and Georgia game. Do we think Michigan can beat Georgia?
Their defense is going to have to beat Georgia's offense.
Yeah.
That's going to be a factor. Their defense is going to have to their defense is going to have to stop Georgia's offense, and if that happens, they got a pretty good chance.
Yeah. I mean, is Bryce Young coming out this season?
Now Bryce has he's got one more year left.
Yeah, one more.
I think.
Man, talking about a kid who can throw the ball.
Oh yeah, he's the Heisman in my opinion.
Yes, I mean you put 41 on a Georgia top defense. You with 421 passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Like that is the way to do it, and he did it to perfection almost. Yeah.
Yeah, but
go ahead.
he's probably going to be the top quarterback the season after, in the
Yeah.
draft. So.
Oh yeah. I think
he might go back-to-back Heisman.
I mean, if he performs the way he did this season, yes, he will 100% go back to back. But yeah, we gotta make some predictions, man. I have Alabama, sadly, but I would love for Cincinnati to win that game. And then for Michigan and Georgia, I have Georgia. Yes, I have Georgia.
Well, obviously, I'm gonna have Alabama.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think there's any way they're going to lose to Cincinnati.
Oh.
This Michigan Georgia game is going to be interesting. I think it's which either defense steps up the most. So I think if whichever defense steps up the most and commits the most turnovers and whatever, it's going to win the game. But ultimately, I think Georgia will win.
Yeah, I'm proud to see Jim Harbaugh.
I get them mixed up too.
Okay. All the time, bro. Every single time. But I'm happy to see him that he could step up this season and be a really good head coach and lead his team to number 2 in the country. I know he's been wanting one for a while, man, and so finally he can be able to do it. But
he started the season unranked and on the hot seat. And now he's the number 2 team in the nation. He beat Ohio State for the first time as the head coach. So
look good while doing it too.
He's had a really good year this year.
Yeah, I mean it's so funny. I think I was reading something the other day, and it said that Michigan is the first team to be unranked, and finish up in the college football playoffs.
I think they might be the first team that's done that.
So I mean that's dope, man. So congrats to
Yeah.
him, but he will lose to Georgia if that defense comes back and has a problem with how they lost to Alabama.
Yeah, Georgia's got a sour taste in their mouth right now.
Oh yeah, I mean, here's something about the good teams. Like you never want to play a good team after they just got blown out, because that's when they show you that they're a good team. That's why they put 30 on you.
Yeah, but we can't sleep on this Michigan team now at all either.
Oh, I'm not at all. I mean, you beat a good Ohio State team.
And then you blow out Iowa in the conference championship.
Yeah, blow them out. And
I don't think Iowa didn't score a touchdown. They scored 3 points the whole game, I believe. So
yeah, it was 3.
Michigan's defense is legit also. So
hey, I mean, here's almost the final question, but I mean, if they beat Georgia, can they beat Bama?
I mean, anything can happen, right? Anything is possible, as Kevin Garnett once said. So.
Anything is possible. Gotta love KG. But yeah, man. I think that's everything for us today. We'll be very excited to see these games in the next couple of weeks. At the end of the month. But yeah, man. Thank you for jumping on, Nathan. Thank you for some college football knowledge, and yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I have been your host, Davion, and that's Nathan.
Am I supposed to say my name?
Yeah.
It's been a while. Y'all.
It has.
Sorry.
Gotta get you back on here more often. But yeah, this has been the post game. Take it easy.